What is up, everybody? It's your boy Duty back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's daily rap video after an abbreviated streaming day yesterday, where Phil just simply did his React Act content and then took the night off to probably play some WWE Champions. But of course, he claims he was filming some Patreon videos, which I'm guessing he had to maybe do 1 or 2 videos for Slayer and his K-pop fantasy crap. But anyway, let's see what Phil has to say on this video. By the way, if you guys didn't check out my podcast yesterday, it was pretty fire. We talked about a lot of things. Check out that video. It's on my channel, and I'll be probably delving into some of that as Phil talks about his joystick, his mini PC, and God knows what else. So let's get into it.
On many things, including what's going on at Evo, including the fact that I did choose to invest and upgrade my setup for fighting games moving forward. It looks like I'll be playing fighting games on the PlayStation 5, which will allow me to have better player selection and the better player installed base for games like Mortal Kombat 1, Tekken 8, etc. moving forward. And I'm going to get a better joystick as well. So I talked about that in detail. In addition, I had updates on the mini PC because I had done more research on it and stuff like that. Sadly, there was some annoying ass trolling this morning on the stream. It is what it is. I tried to minimize it as much as possible. You'll probably notice if you watch the show, there's very little of it visible on the show. What happened was there was a lot of assholes in the chat being stupid. And, you know, it sucks that it derails the show, but it is what it is.
Actually, Phil, you derailed the show, not the trolls. Now, if you guys don't know, apparently Phil went off on one of his viewers because they wanted either an apology or an explanation for why Phil decided to belittle them on the stream on Saturday on the podcast. And this person was irate and annoyed and wanted Phil to either apologize or explain why he decided to treat her like crap. And she was putting her message in the chat box, and apparently Phil didn't like it that she asked the question multiple times in the chat. So the derailing didn't occur by the trolls. The derailing came from Phil when he decided to spend 7 minutes again berating this person. And mind you, it wasn't like they were just trolling or just being dumb. The person wanted an apology or an explanation for why Phil decided to treat her like crap, right? And the thing was, it wasn't like Phil said, well, no, you were wrong, and that's the reason why I chastised you. Phil admitted that he was completely in the wrong. But you would think he would just simply say, hey, I'm sorry, or I apologize for, you can even go the route of, I'm sorry you felt that way. My intent wasn't to make fun of you. I was just being playful, and I apologize. Yes, I was wrong. I'm sorry. And just move on from there. No, Phil can't do that. Phil has to throw up all these excuses. He even got into the whole, well, you know, just because I got the information wrong doesn't mean you have, you don't have valid criticism. You don't have valid reason to bring it up and criticize me. And then, of course, he went on the whole, you know, I'm just one person. I don't have all the facts. I'm not lying his tips. I'm not a PC guru. Just all of these excuses when he could have just said, I got the information wrong. My apologies. I'm now more informed, and then go with that. But no, he decided he wanted to be a jerk to this person and essentially belittle them yet again, and then ban them. And if you guys caught the video at ours or what was on his stream, you had moderators in his chat basically saying Phil should apologize. Phil was in the wrong. His own moderators were saying this. So this whole business about trolls being on derailing his chat is just nonsense. It's not true. It was one person, a viewer, that had a gripe with Emmanuel, a member. This is a person that is a member, has been a member for 3 months in a row. Had a gripe with Phil because of the way he treated her, and Phil apparently didn't like that. So he decided to make an example of her. So all this nonsense about derailing, that's what Phil's talking about. He's the one that derailed the podcast.
I took care of it, and now it's fine. So overall, pretty informative level 1 podcast this morning. Okay, then we got to my React show, DSP versus the internet, and we had 3 hours of reacting to the clips that you, the members, submitted over on DSP Reacts. Thanks to those who attended, those who supported that stream. It went pretty well this week. the night was really where it was weird because I wasn't doing a stream tonight. So first of all, did quite a few, like over 90 minutes of private React content tonight that I filmed and uploaded. And then I jumped right into getting this mini PC set up. And let me tell you, getting it initially hooked up was very easy, but immediately I get a problem. Immediately I turn it on, and my capture device, you know, OBS and everything over here, is telling me, oh, there's HDC copy protection. It won't take the video signal. Now, here's the weird thing about it. When I booted up the mini PC, at first it worked fine. But as soon as it would get to like the desktop, it would show it for a second, then all of a sudden get canceled out and say, oh, there's HDCP enabled. So I knew that there were some shenanigans here. I knew that there was something enabled in the PC that was turning that on. It wasn't that it was on by default. There was an actual setting or something that was enabling it, and that was really annoying me, okay? So, how do I fix it? And at first, I was trying to search in options, everything, couldn't find anything myself. Went online, searched, couldn't find. Finally, I found a video from fall of last year, and that video, although it didn't exactly have the exact version of the drivers and software that I have in here, basically explained that with this onboard Radeon graphics that are in this mini PC, by default they have HDCP enabled, which is dumb because there's a vast majority of things will never use it. It's only really if you're watching movies and things that have the HDCP enabled that it will ever be needed. You don't need it essentially, but it has it on by default really stupidly. So once I disabled it, everything started working. But then immediately I started having more problems with the audio because this mini PC does not do dual audio out. You have to choose your default audio out device, and you can't really do audio to two sources, which means I had to do a workaround. It's the same workaround that I use for the Switch and the same workaround I use for the PS5, and it essentially means I will never get true surround sound playing on my PC as long as I am also capturing and streaming for you guys. So I will explain all of this in full on tomorrow's Level 1 podcast. However, I made a demo video, which I am actually going to upload tonight along with this daily wrap, so you should find it here on DSP Gaming. I tried two games, Skyrim and Visage. Skyrim was set to around medium settings, 1080p, and Visage was set to also around medium settings, 1080p. You know, Skyrim being such an old game, what is it, like 11 years old at this point? 12 years old, something like that. Didn't look as good, but Visage looked pretty good. It looked a little pixelated because it didn't have all the effects at high level to basically hide that. But for the most part, it was certainly playable and probably would have been pretty darn scary if I kept playing it. I played it a couple years ago, and it genuinely did scare me. So, from what I can see so far, now, one thing I definitely want to do with this mini PC is Fightcade. And I did download the Fightcade app. The problem being, it doesn't really do anything by default. It seems like you need to research how to use it because it doesn't tell you where to get ROMs. It doesn't tell you how to set it up. I'm just staring at it like, I don't know. I'm going to have to figure this out. So, right now with Fightcade, I have no solutions how to use it yet. But I'm sure some people are going to try to explain it to me now and tell you, oh, here's how you do it. You do this, you do this, you do this, right? So I just have to figure it out. But I did get Fightcade. It's called Fightcade 2. And what's Fightcade? It's basically a program, an app that allows you to play old school games. Mostly it's used for fighting games these days, but you can use all kinds of arcade games and things. You can play them online co-op with other people, or you can play against people competitively over the internet using GGPO netcode. So there's all these implementations for it. For me, obviously I want to play all the old school fighting games. Super Turbo, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, maybe CVS 2, maybe some of the old school versus games like Marvel vs. Capcom 1, or even X-Men vs. Street Fighter. I would love to play those online against people. I haven't played them in a zillion years, and it looks like they would maybe run well on this mini PC. I don't know, because I didn't know how to get it to work.
Okay, so he talked about Skyrim, Visage. These are all games that he can play on the Xbox. That would look way better. That would have surround sound. That would be so much better than this mini PC emulator or whatever. I don't get it. I honestly don't get the purpose of this actual thing. I guess he's gonna play Chrono Triggers and some other older retro games, which I just don't understand, Phil. It's another piece to this convoluted setup that Phil has. Phil has an Xbox, a PlayStation, 2 laptops, this mini PC, the Switch, and God knows what else he has. He has us all patched together, right, and worked. And the way he does his setup, because he doesn't understand how to use OBS to actually stream and record, he has all of these different feeds and connections to one to his laptop, one to his PC, one, you know, it's just a convoluted mess. I don't understand how that is efficient in the slightest. His setup requires more power than I don't know what. I mean, it's a miracle the house hasn't burned down. And I can vision his he probably has like 5 different power strips, and they're all connected, and he probably has it all running to one plug, and it's just a recipe for disaster. God forbid there's a lightning storm, everything's gonna get fried in that room. And man, the heat that must be in that room that produced by all of this equipment, it's just unnecessary. If he just invested a little bit of, like, okay, so we all know that this mini PC costs $400, right? For another $100, let's say $200, for at least $600, he could have got a capable PC that would allow him to stream, that would allow him to record and stream at the same time, and he could have played games at 1080p 60 FPS without any problems whatsoever. And he could, you know, he could use his existing capture card, external capture card, and connect it, and it would be no issue. And he can eliminate all the other crap that he has. You can tell that he has just multiple adapters connected to other adapters just to get this Frankenstein setup to work. And it's so inefficient. It's just so inefficient. And I mean, you know, I could go in there, and if he was committed, I could help him clean all that crap out and just have a simple, streamlined setup. I mean, I have a room. My media room is probably maybe, it's like 4 by 8. It's a small room. I have a nice big desk. I have everything set up. I have my cable management down pack. I have cooling. I have everything completely set up, everything out of the way. And when I want to switch from, say, playing Xbox to PlayStation, it's a matter of turning on the game and just flipping a switch on my monitor. That's it. Nice and simple. Everything is out of the way. I don't have to run 1,000 cords just to get this, you know, for me to play something using one of my peripherals. It's all and again, it's taking time to sit down, map it out, do it right, and just, you know, eliminate all of the unnecessary crap. Just eliminate it, because those cords and all that shit just get in your way, and it's annoying, and all it does is just collect dust. It's so inefficient. I don't understand. And the funny thing is, this guy's job, the helicopter job that he talks about, right? His first big job, and he talked about how great of a job he did, and how he was acknowledged by his bosses for doing a great job, was essentially process improvement. It was looking at a process and figuring out ways to improve it. And this is the best he can do with his setup. This Frankenstein disaster. That just tells me that, one, he lied about his role at the company. He lied at how good of his job is, and he lied about, you know, creating putting together PCs. It's a lie, because no one in their right mind would have this nasty setup that he has, just laying all over the floor, all over his room, cables all over the place. No. I just don't understand why he doesn't just invest a little bit of money. He can have a really decent setup, good PC, capture card, all of the mounts he needs, his cable management. If he was willing to invest, say, $750, $750, he can get it all done nice and neat. And if he wanted to, he already has 2 monitors, so he really doesn't even have to get the monitors. And there's no reason why he has this big 55-inch television at a distance from him, and that's what he uses for gameplay. It makes no sense, especially when you have 2 monitors. You can just set one monitor for playthrough, and then the other monitor for to look at your streaming activity, look at your chat, and all you have to do is look back and forth. That's what I do. I have 2 monitors. I have 2 4K monitors. One, when I stream, I have everything on my streaming. I have everything that I need to touch, everything to push a button, my soundboard, everything on one screen, my chat, everything, and then the other screen is whatever game I'm playing or whatever I'm streaming. It's nice and simple. There's no headaches, and it's just worth it, Phil. It's worth, and you know, You spend money on the most pointless things. For example, you just spent $500 to get a fighting joystick. $200 more, $250 more, you could have set yourself up with a nice setup. You could have got a PC for about $500-600, and then another $150 for, you know, cable management, maybe a better desk. Just, it doesn't take much, Phil, but of course, everything you do in your life is half-ass, and that's the reason why you're stuck at level 1. Anyway, that's the video. I'm done preaching to this guy, trying to explain to him why everything he does is just ridiculous. Peace out.